Sarah Loomis, the Manager of Education at the Botanic Garden of Smith College. Today we are going to talk about plants as building materials, with a special focus on the American elm, or Ulmus americana, as I've recently had the chance to follow the journey of one such tree from our collection as it goes from a living specimen to producing wood for tables and benches for the new Neilson Library currently being constructed. Since wood plays such a big role in producing building materials, I wanted to start off focusing on our arboretum, or our tree collection. William Ganong, the first director of the Botanic Garden, was fond of, quote, lofty and graceful trees, saying that there could never be too many of them. And today, the Smith College campus arboretum features over 1,000 trees and shrubs throughout campus. The trees and shrubs in the collection are chosen for specific reasons, following the guidelines of our collection's policy. Some serve as specimen trees, or they may be representatives of specific taxonomic groups. Many are rare or unusual in New England, and have often been grown from seed collected around the world. Every tree in the Botanic Garden has a story behind it. If our trees could speak, they might tell us about their species, where they originate, when they were brought to other places around the world, how humans have used them, and how they came to be growing at Smith. Tree Speak is a project by students in our horticulture course that celebrates trees in our arboretum. Students in the hort class write scripts for some of our trees to give voice to their stories. To learn about the life of one tree here at Smith, we are going to explore the American elm, or Ulmus americana. This Tree Speak was written by Karina Minoz, class of 2017, as read by Jessie Blum, class of 2015.
Native to the eastern United States and Canada, the American elm, Ulmus americana, was once one of the most common street trees in America. Prized for its beautiful vase-shaped habit, the American elm thrived as a street tree due to its ability to survive in salty, oxygen-poor soil. The many elm streets in the United States are named so because this species dominated urban plantings. Branching tends to occur high on the tree, above power lines. When planted on opposite sides of a street, the result is a shady tunnel. Historically, the American elm has been prized not just for its value as a street tree, but also for its wood. Native Americans used the wood to make canoes and used the inner bark in medicines for colds and coughs. The population of American elms in the United States has been decimated by the introduction of Dutch elm disease in the 1930s. Introduced through a shipment of logs from Europe and first reported in trees near Cleveland, Ohio, Dutch elm disease spread throughout the United States. Caused by a fungus, its symptoms include foliage yellowing and wilting. It is generally spread from one tree to another by bark beetles and, if left untreated, will eventually kill the tree. Although there is no way to cure Dutch elm disease, healthy trees, like this one, can be treated with regular injections of fungicide to prevent the disease. There is also a search for American elm hybrids that are resistant to Dutch elm disease.
If you would like to learn about more trees in our collection, you can take a virtual tour through our website. Once you are on campus, our trees are labeled and the files are accessible by QR code at the tree. With the renovation of Neilson Library, we were forced to remove an elm from our collection. It's always a hard, if necessary, thing when a tree must be removed. However, the wood from the tree will live on as 8 unique pieces of furniture in the new Neilson Library. I headed to a small workshop in Gill, Massachusetts, to speak with Sam French, a local woodworker who has been commissioned to create the tables and benches for the library out of this incredible tree.
Hi, I'm Sam French, and we're here at my shop in Gill, Massachusetts, Gill CC Woodworks. I'm currently working on these elm tables for the new Neilson Library in collaboration with Bialowski Architects and Myelin. The tables are American elm and they're live edge. The slabs were sawn down at Lashway Lumber and then I believe kiln dried for about 2 years, I believe. The kiln drying brings the moisture content down in the green wood at a controlled rate, and doing it over a longer period of time causes the cells to break down at a slower level, so you get less cracking and splitting. and one of the slabs was an end grain slab, so it was the bottom of the tree. So I think it's about 48 inches in diameter. Very difficult to dry those without them cracking. Just the nature of when they shrink, they generally go with the grain, so they tend to just split. So doing it over a longer period of time, they were able to keep them from splitting, even though, as you'll see, there's a number of large splits in the slabs themselves.
Collaboration is key, and just last week, Maya Lin, the designer of new Neilson Library, along with architect Bill Bialowski, came to see the project in process and meet with Sam and metal-based fabricator Bruce Golinsky.
Maya Lin, designer of the library.
Finished with, it's going to be a hand rubbed tung oil varnish. It's a two-part finish. One of them, the first part is penetrates deeply, and you continue to apply it until it's fully saturated, and then there's just a single top coat. So it's not like a polyurethane or an epoxy finish, so there's still interaction with the actual wood.
If learning about the American elm piqued your interest, we have a permanent exhibit on display at Lyman Plant House called Woods of the World, which features over 170 types of wood from around the world. To learn more about these woods, including how many of them are used in specific building projects, head to garden.smith.edu.